This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by
NHLibertySA.com.
Did some videotaping in the lobby. He didn't even give time.
So I just want to I want to let folks know how to get to the Sallyport so you can get video of prisoners. This is where they brought me, and I went from this. I guess I went from this door here over to this door here. I was just briefly outside. This spot right here is right across from the Bank of America at Keene District Court. So that's where you want to go if someone's been arrested. You couldn't get video of them. Then you want to, be in this area. I don't know exactly where in this area is best, but this is where you go to get video of our prisoners. If you can't get video in court, or even if you can, it's still good to get them being transported. All right. Anyway, so that may not be the only place that a prisoner appears. I don't know if it'll always work, but that's what happened to me. Oh, and in case the Bank of America closes, you should know this is the front of City Hall, the front of Keene District Court, and I want to show you where that Sallyport is in relation to the front of City Hall. So you got the front of City Hall on Washington Street. You come down here and down there, and then off to the right there is the Sallyport. Now this is funny. There's the unit that actually picked me up, Sheriff's Unit 6. They just drove past me, Cheshire 6, waved at me. They're the ones that transported me.
Yeah, there's people who know how to do it at the emergency rooms.
There's some drama going on.
How much do you think they'll charge me at an emergency room?
$300 to walk in the door.
Yep.
Injured in the line of duty, Mike Warski slipped on the ice and threw his shoulder out of socket.
They'll give you a payment plan if money is a problem.
Lauren Canario is an ex-Army firefighter.
Hey, Cooper.
We're trying to decide whether she should try to put him back in his socket.
Okay, let's go to an ER.
Alrighty.
Mike's a tough guy, so he's got to be in a lot of pain. So Mike's going to be escorted or driven to a hospital here where someone who really knows more than we do will take care of him.
I don't. Well, is someone coming who does?
Yeah, I know where it's at. Okay. I'll go.
Oh my God.
It'll be over soon. Take a second. Back
Well, I guess this could have happened to anybody that came to this event, but we all, I think everyone who came expected they were taking some risk, and I really appreciate him taking the risk of coming, even if he wasn't expecting this kind of danger. Mike, I should point out, was here to be arraigned himself for a different act of civil disobedience, and that is having a what they call an unlawful gathering. Mike was involved in helping get Freedom Fest together, and he was charged for that, for having an unlawful assembly. All right, standing here with David Cruz of Keene, who just committed today an act of civil disobedience in court, which we were not able to videotape because they banned cameras from the courtroom. Tell me what you did today, David.
Well, first, this is a response to them citing in Bernard or Ian Freeman. I'm not entirely certain what name he's going by these days. For contempt of court for not standing fast enough for the judge's liking, and I kind of view that as, it's not even a big issue, but it's not disruptive. If you don't stand for the judge, it's not disruptive to anything.
Sorry, I had to interrupt. You said it wasn't not disrupting anything that they're doing.
Yeah, it's just by not standing. It's a sort of expression of I mean, it is this expression of disrespect to the judge. He doesn't. If he rules contemptuously, I have contempt for him. So I didn't. I decided I wasn't going to stand, and based on his reaction with Ian Bernard, I believed I was actually going to get arrested. So I was very prepared for that today, as well as I can be, I guess. And when the judge came in, they called all rise. Me and actually a couple other people just didn't stand up. I was in the front row, and the judge didn't bat an eye, which was kind of funny. I expected him to. I expected to get arrested, and he didn't. So I'm very pleased on that front.
So it was 3 of you total that didn't stand?
2 that I know of, and I out of the corner of my eye, because like I said, I was in the front row, so I didn't actually see anyone else. But I think they call that a snow lemming. Mental block. Yeah, they might have been a couple others that I just wasn't able to see, and nothing really happened after that. One other thing I did do is I had a little thing. It was basically a thing encouraging police not to, or police and law enforcement in general, not to create conflict by enforcing victimless crimes laws. And I tried to leave a copy of that with Eli Rivera, who is a police officer, but he's also does part-time as a city prosecutor. And he was there in his nice suit and prosecuting people, I guess. And I gave it to him in person. He gave it back to me, and then I tried to leave it on his desk. He said, "I don't want it. I don't want it." And I said, "Oh, but it's for you." And the judge told me to get out.
The judge was in. This is in the lobby area?
Oh no, this was in the courtroom.
Oh, in the courtroom. Okay, all right. Yeah. He told you to leave the courtroom?
Yeah, he told me to get out. I mean, this was after the 2 guys had at least seen the judge, and Mike Barsky and Andrew Carroll had already seen the judge, so I was on my way out anyway.
Yeah.
So I left, and then I folded one up and wrote to Elazar Rivera, that's his full name, and I asked one of the police officers to give it. I said he was busy at the moment, and could you please give this to Eli
So you're
Rivera?
going to get it 3 times?
Well, I did leave one where I was sitting actually in the courtroom.
Yeah.
And just casually packed up my coat and stuff, and then just left it there.
Right.
But I gave it to a police officer. The one cop wouldn't take it, and the other cop did. And a couple minutes later, gave it back to me.
They don't want it. It's radioactive, they think.
They did not want it. And I think I left one with the bailiffs too, but I don't remember for certain.
All right.
They did not want my little thing, just encouraging them not to increase the overall level of conflict. That's what it was.
So this is David's second act of pre-planned civil disobedience, and looks like it went pretty well.
Yeah.
Thanks, David.
You're welcome.
NHLibertySA.com. This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by...
Okay. NHLibertySA.com. If you believe in liberty and are good at writing about it, then enter the NH Liberty Essay Contest. You could earn up to $200 in prizes, and you could crush the other students. NHLibertySA.com.